thing on my seat. Indeed. And greetings upon you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me here again on another day, another opportunity for us to be lovingly, to be something instead of nothing. And today's stream topic was completely inspired by Ryan. Just how he's been going through this mental experiment of talking about nothing or thinking about nothing, and how even if you try to think about nothing, nothing isn't something that you can think about. It's almost like it doesn't exist. you know what makes you think that non-experience exists when reality isn't even appearing as it is? you know what how can you believe that you don't, or that there is nothing? And I feel like there's so much stuff running through my mind, with this topic, and we'll dive deeper into it, and we'll see if we can circle around to this. But I feel that is why we're scared of death. It's because there is no such thing as nothing, at least within this realm of existence. Like even empty space, is filled with dark matter or dark energy. Papi! Cease. She has something dead and stiff in her mouth. There we go. She listens at least, which is surprising. And then we've convinced ourselves that death is that nothing, right? And then we're somehow scared of that nothing. But what makes you think that that nothing is even possible? How can you convince yourself that nothing is even a thing? Shannon, again, friend, thank you for joining me. Ryan says, sorry, I am a moment late. I had to place my tile. You are here, brother Bear. In this moment, you are here, not late, but here. Thank you so much for joining me and for inspiring today's topic. I really do appreciate that, brother Bear. Good morning, Eden. Do you feel like a fish in a barrel? No, I don't. I don't feel like a fish in a barrel. I feel like the fish and the barrel, if anything, right? Knowing that I am the fish, realizing that I'm inside of the barrel, realizing that without the barrel and the water that it contains, I won't be, but I am. So maybe fish and the barrel. How about you, friend? Do you feel like a fish in the barrel? Because when we sleep, there are long periods of nothing. Who says? Who says, Eden? Who says there's nothing? Like we convince ourselves there's nothing. We don't necessarily remember the information from that side, so we chuck it up to being nothing. But even within that state of nothingness, there is so much happening in your brain, right? Like literally you have these fluids that wash your brain of all the stuff that it doesn't need anymore, doesn't want anymore. And then it brings you all the way around to your waking state again. So you had to go through those, you can, if you want to, call them states of nothing, which did something in order to be what you are right now. I'm going to write nothing, but I'm going to put need on the other side. So it is not just nothing, just it's going to be need nothing. No thing. It's impossible. It's impossible. There can be no thing. And it's a paradox in and of itself. There is nothing, which has nothing within it. So there is some place within the no in the know of nothing where there is nothing within something. Oh goodness. Why do Biden walk like he crapped his pants? I don't know, dude. He's old, man. Maybe he has a hard time walking, dude. Maybe he has a hard time walking. Like, if anything, you should feel bad for him. Send him good vibes. Hopefully he gets better at walking and, keeps the country afloat as much as he can. I know he's not doing it alone. You know, some would argue if he's doing it at all. But, I mean, why does it bother you? Why does it bother you how Biden walks? I mean, how do you think you'll walk when you're in your 80s? I probably walk like I crap my pants as well at that point. Hopefully, the yoga that I'm doing now will keep me strong enough to look like I've only peed my pants when I'm in my 80s. And isn't nothing a thing? Exactly! Exactly! Isn't nothing a thing? So, like, instead of just talking about nothing today, we're going to talk about needing nothing as well. You know, like realizing that you're already so freaking full. You're already so complete that there is so much to be experienced that there is no need for need. Right? Like we have basic human needs, shelter and food and clothing and hygiene, conversation. But after these things are met, there's not much you need past that. And we find ourselves in a world, you know, where we've been convinced that we need things. And we're transitioning into a world that realizes that we don't. Where the things that we're going to be experiencing on a day-to-day level will be more light than it will be matter. You can't stop experiencing matter, and you'll probably experience that light through matter. But that's a pretty trippy contrast to go into, don't you think? Lisa, it's so nice to have you here. Really? Really? Okay, let's see if I can catch it before it blows away further. The wind was like, no. I took this little paper and I put the pen on it, and I put the pen on this little piece of paper, but the wind wasn't having any of it. It's like, bruh. That's very hopeful, Human says. Thank you for joining us, Lisa. It's nice to have you. Where's your dog? Not within vision. At least not right now. Thank you for asking. Hopefully she'll come and visit us at some point. Howdy to you. So, hey, so it's nice to have you. You see that? That just happened. The wind is so strong, it literally tilted the entire tripod. Let's try that. Our bodies are doing something, but in certain points of sleep, our brain isn't aware of the nothing it's doing. In dream state, we have awareness, but there's no such time. There's so much time between the dreams where we are totally unaware. Like I have a hard time believing that, even though I feel like it might be true even. It's very hard for my brain to accept that, because I feel even in that state of unawareness, you're aware of it, you know, at least part of the spirit is. Again, you know, we're a part of this infinity. It's not necessarily something that we can escape. There is no such thing as nothing. Even within that state of thinking that there's nothing. Again, you know, like if you think about just the experiences I've had with like float tanks, for example, you take away all your senses. You take away your ability to see and to hear and to smell. You can smell salt water, but that kind of like blends into the background, and you can't even feel the like in the wind is too strong. are posting. Being rained on, flooded, cold, scratched, freezing cold, and exhausted. Love it. I'm so happy to hear you staying optimistic. This is what I like. Right, Candace? Exactly what we're going through right now. What? There's an indoors? Yes. There's an indoors. Is this good enough? Is there drops of water on this little lens? Maybe a little bit. Just move it up like this. Here we go. I think I'm still gonna roll myself a joint, even though I won't be able to smoke it inside. Is that Talia? Talia, it's so nice to have you here, beloved friend. I was thinking about you today, actually. Thinking about you today. Just wondering how Germany is doing. Like basically, there's this thing going on called r/place, and you basically get to create. Wait a second. You basically get to create like a work of art as a community, one pixel at a time. And I think the biggest flag, like country flag on the whole thing, is a German flag. And I was just imagining or thinking, about the amount of coordination, dedication to getting something like that done. And then I was thinking about you and the amount of hard work that you put into, becoming a better person and improving your relationships. Thank you for joining us. So nice to have you here, friend. Nothing is something. Something is nothing. There we go. Now we're making breakthroughs, Edith. Melty is going to fly away. I mean, if I was ever able to fly away, it would have been that. I could have gotten like wrecked by those big branches. I mean, they fell and like kind of pricked my back with thorns, but none of them fell directly on me. So that's nice. Small victories. Damn, you remembered, lol. It looks and sounds like you are streaming from a tornado. It is a little bit brutal. I don't think we've had winds like this in years, like literally years. True, some meditation teachers say that is paradise, the no thing. Absolutely. Where you're in a state of, I wanted to like talk about that, and then I almost got killed by branches. Just how within like a float tank where you're basically taking yourself through sensory deprivation, there is nothing. And yet even within that nothing, there is your awareness. And you don't have to be even aware that you're human. You don't have to be aware that you have a life that you live and you have responsibilities. All of that stuff can melt away and still you're that awareness. Within nothing, something. And it's in that way there can be nothing. Because even if there's nothing, you're still, I get like $5 million a day, for like tuck shop money. It's very nice. It's very sick. Wow, the wind is wild. It was. Lamar, God is like, you better stop it. No, God is probably like, you better keep going. Even though I throw the worst at you, keep going. The gods are mad. We are challenging nothing. That might be it. The stream is fire. No, you shall. Thank you. Is that your dingo? No, I mean, Peppy was, I don't know if it's a dingo. Like, it's my dog. She was here for a little bit. Good day to you. Thank you, Aunt P. Best stream ever, pure weather and man battle of the elements. Thank you. Be careful, Mel. Thank you, Lisa. Yoga tornado. Sofa, sofa, sofa. Literally yoga tornadoes. I did yoga twice today. For like a total of an hour and a bit. It was fun. I really enjoy the yoga. So windy. The matrix operators are like, they're on something. Increase wind, yes. Increase wind. Increase branch dropping. Increase like single drop velocity. All of these factors trying to stop us from streaming, trying to stop us from talking about nothing, trying to find the nothing within the everything. Technically we can't, but it's worth the try. He is in everyone's dreams tonight. Thank you, friend. Sending you so much love as well. Is your dog experiencing nothing? She could. But like the whole point is that nothing doesn't exist. Because even if there's nothing, there's you within the nothing. And you're something. So there is something. So there can't be nothing. It's that paradox that we're talking about today. That infinity that loops back and forth. The stream brought to you a hurricane by gust winds. Boom. Oh, they're getting too good. Better start shutting the thing down. It's full. Thank you for the energy. I appreciate that. Enjoy sleep. I'm sorry, I'm laughing a lot. No, feel joyous, Jovan. There's never, ever a reason to be sorry for laughing and being joyous. With lots of goodness, hopefully. Oh, absolutely. Gave Neil Young saying at Woodstock, more rain, more rain, more rain. Yeah. Hell yeah. Like every single drop of rain is appreciated. The only thing I'm really worried about is these strong gusts of wind breaking my plants. That's the real thing my mind goes to. Not so much my personal well-being, but the well-being of the entities that I take care of, if you will. His phone stand is like, screw you, daddy. Exactly like that. Sofa. Melt, calm in the storm, literally. Shannon, I would have been willing to sit outside if it was just wind. But like when the rain started with like extreme velocity, that's when I had to stop. I also stepped in a few thorns. So on the front side of my foot is itching a little bit, but It's chill. There's a lot of wind noise. I'm sorry. It should be better now, Cerebral. Thank you for joining us. Not only would it be safer for you in cover, it would be softer on our ears. I was gonna do it. Sorvina, thank you. Sorvina. Sorvina. I appreciate you encouraging it as well. A bit of everything, but mostly goodness. With spring here, it's always a busy time of year, but it will be rewarding, I hope. It will be if you make it so, Aunt B. And I know you can. I know you will. It's like emotional turmoil inside of me. Tumultuous. Is that so? Kaisel? I still don't know how to say the start of your name, Panda. I'm sorry, friend. Yeah, it's okay. You know, it's okay to have those tumultuous insides as well sometimes. It just gives you so much more perspective, you know, when you have that state of calmness, that state of nothingness if inside of you, to be able to appreciate it. Where there's all like, Ingus, I'll give you what I do, you have to react. It's so beautiful. Like it was basically sunny at one point today, and then it got cloudy, and then the clouds went into like getting darker, and basically as I sat down, the wind started and the rain came along with it. I've been drying out like this grapefruit pulp that I made, that I plan on making tea with. Like I have a whole sheet of grapefruit pulp right now, and then I want to cut it into little blocks and then take those little blocks and put it in my teacup. I don't know who will work, but that's what I wanted to do. And I had the intuition to take it out of the sunlight just before I came to stream. And I did that, fortunately, and now it's not in the rain. So I feel like I knew it was going to rain before I knew it was going to rain. All the best to you too. Thank you so much for joining us again, Talia. How are you guys? How was little Lucky Clover the calf? Or the best for you. Thank you for you too. He need an all-weather outdoor smoke shack. That would be nice. But I think it would be a little bit financially unwise to realize that. Thank you though, Panda. Hey, it's Katie. Thank you for joining us. We have Paramaganatus. Your hair is fire. It is? I thought it was little carbon tubes. Thank you. Thank you, Brett. I appreciate you. He is nonsensically speaking sensible nonsense. Yes. Nonsensically speaking sensible nonsense. Just like that. Exactly like that. Germany is great. I'm doing alright. A bit of uncertainty at times is normal in an intense personal development journey. Oh yes. Not only normal, but to be expected. To be expected. You know, and if it happens, know that you're ready for it. You've been preparing your whole life. Literally been preparing your whole life. Ooh. It's a big Spooder man. Let me show you. Let me show you. No, Spooder man, don't run away. Look at that dude. Look at that dude. I don't know if I'll be able to do it this way. Let me see if I switch it around and I do this. There we go. Gotta see that Spooder man. Little Spooder. Tuning in for the stream as well today. Indica or sativa? This is probably sativa. You know, like if I have to go by the way it makes me feel, probably sativa. That should go viral. What should go viral? Friend, if anything goes viral, I hope it's the idea, the understanding of infinity. Right? Like, it's so crazy to me as well. Even Carl Jung, like I learned this today. Carl Jung's seventh, you know, like almost his final point as to how you can live a happy life, how you can find purpose, is to find the infinity within your normal existence, within your finite existence. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, even Carl Jung! So that's what we want to go viral, friend, the infinite mindset, so that every single person in the world can see themselves as not only a part of, but the quintessential infinity. You are that. Fantastic family. Hope everyone knows. Hope everyone is doing well in this moment. Thank you, Corey. Even better now that you're here with the Bay. How are you doing? There's also the high pitched sound of silence. That's also true. You're completely right on that, actually, Corey. Same to you. Where are you from? I'm from South Africa, Lost Soul. Tahoe Dream, hello to you again, friend. Thank you for the wholesome. Para, thank you for the silver gump. I appreciate you, friends. I guess we have to take ourselves outside now. Smoke in the rain a little bit. You know, get busy with it. Need nothing was our intention for this. To not even need stable weather. I'm surprised that the stream is still running, that the internet is still working actually, but to really need nothing. It's very difficult. It's very difficult because you're everything. You know, it's this difficult paradox of being everything, and then as everything realizing that you need nothing. But it's difficult to need nothing because you're everything, but because you're everything, you need nothing. Over and over and over again. All you have to do is stay awake, stay aware. Sending love to you as I dip out for the day. Thank you, Jovan, for spending even a moment. I appreciate you so much. I gave up smoking for Lent, for rent. So jealous, bro. Sending you abundance and love. Sleep. It's temporary. You know, like I really wish I could be giving you friends the weed I have already grown for myself. But it's temporary. You know, the lives we want to live, the lives we deserve to live is there. We're already living it in our future. All we have to do is start living it now. As if it's already true. As if we already have it. Sending you good vibes. Thank you so much for that. Corey, doing good. I'm getting the rest a bit later. I think the calf is going to be okay. I'm happy to hear that. Thank you for letting us know. Creative vibes have been sent your way. Thank you for that. Shannon, I appreciate that so much. Hope the same for you. Happy to hear the things. Thank you, friends. Just thank you for sharing so much love with one another. Like, I cannot even imagine. You know, like, the amount of intention amongst us all. If I think about the amount of attention that I put forth in these streams, and then seeing you friends do the same, like, it baffles me. It literally blows my mind, where I'm in a state of disbelief sometimes. You know what? I'm gonna take my base off. Do like this. Yeah. I thought this door was gonna slam for a second. I feel like Minecraft character. Oh. To need nothing. It is a little bit difficult, right? Not rent, but I appreciate you. Lent is a religious sacrifice. Oh! In that case, I'm proud of you, friend. I'm very proud of you. So happy to hear. Perhaps a covered awning, so you can smoke outside without getting wetter than a snapping turtle coochie. I mean, Panda, technically, I am under the roof right now. So, yes, I'm doing that. I can't smoke without getting wet, but I kind of wanna. I don't really mind getting that wet, but I don't know if my joint will stay lit if I go deeper. Thank you, Rain, for every drop that you bless me with. Goodness, I'm having my ass handed to me. This joint is. Oh goodness! It's reminding me that we don't need anything. We don't need anything. We like having things. You know, and I know even in saying we don't need anything, I'm basically like eliciting this paradox in your own brain, in my own brain, of like, yeah, you don't need anything, but water is falling on the earth right now. And without that happening, things die. So things are needed. Or maybe, technically that intention of that joint was need nothing, right? And if you want to like switch it around on yourself, you can think of it as this perspective of to need nothing. To want it, to seek it. And I feel maybe meditation is that in a way. At least to some people it is. Samadhi, where you melt into oneness, and then not only do you need nothing in that state of mind, but it's like you need for that nothingness. When you get into that state of mind, it's like you are that nothingness. Well, I wish I could stay in the awesome life, but I bid you adieu, Meld Gump. It was nice having you here for even a moment. Thank you. At the end of the day, if/when it finally gets quiet, I hear ringing. Aside from the crickets, frogs, and such. Lol, that sounds beautiful. Are you talking about tinnitus, though? On B, I'm guessing you are. I also have tinnitus, like around the 2000 hertz. No, not 2000, 20,000 hertz range. Like I feel it's, like 2222 hertz, because when I tune, like when I have like a speaker and then I go to the little hertz range, and then when the hertz range that I hear in my ears always kind of match up and disappear, like you hear very distinctly, and then at some point, boop, clips out, where it sounds exactly the same that it sounds in my head, and then it reaches a point where I can hear it again. So, tinnitus. I wonder why. I wonder why on B. I think it's a bad thing. A part of me believes that it is there to almost be like a stable base to reference off of. The other part of me believes that it's my brain tuning into a frequency. The third part of myself thinks that it is me hearing the actual neuronal activity going on inside my brain, like the sine wave frequency that's happening in my brain that's processing my consciousness. I can hear it, notice. And the fourth part is that it's some sort of neurological disease, right? So, layers of thinking. Which one do you want to believe? I think I've heard about it before. I'm guessing it comes with from things. Enjoy sleep. Like if you're doing it because you're honoring yourself, right? Like you've been smoking for a very long time and you kind of want to take a break from it to honor yourself, then I highly encourage it. But if you're doing it for something outside of yourself, right? Like as you're saying, for a religious reason, if you're doing it for some deity, and like you're here right now and you're saying that you're jealous, you would like to be smoking as well, you're creating an experience within your living life that is not indicative of you enjoying it, you making the most of it, you being completely present within it. That, in my opinion, is the biggest sin. Not that's the perspective that I've taken, if you will. You've got a awning coup. Oh, you've got an awning coup. Yes, an awning coup. I like the way that sounds. Like I thought it was just a patio and a perch. But an awning coup sounds pretty sick to me. It does. Who is the Fruit family? How is the Fruit family doing today? Oh, just dandy as always. Is it still snowing outside, Eden? Have you gotten a moment to be outside again, to go for a walk? Like, dude, let us know. I want to be smoking in the rain. Dude, technically, if you want to get really technical about it, you just did. And you got to see yourself do it even. That's how you knew. Right? I'm just you, but me, friend. And we can live vicariously through one another. We know this. That's why we get all worked up when we see someone in danger in a movie or in a show that we identify with, that we like, if you will. It's you, friend. You're seeing yourself. You just smoked a joint in the rain with me. Wow, that's a beautiful scene, Mel. What a blessed and beautiful Sunday. Thank you so much, Brother Isaac. It's so nice to have you here. Smoke first, the play in the rain. Smoke first, then play in the rain. I'm guessing is what you meant to say. Yeah, I did for a little bit. The rain is still coming down pretty hard, but I feel like I'm just kind of damp right now, not wet. I would like to go out, like my favorite rain to kind of London rain. We call it motrien in Afrikaans. It's basically like these very small drops of rain. They almost fall slowly. Goodness, standing in that, it almost feels like just these layers of information being poured over you. Melts rain. It's pretty sick. These ones though are kind of like, you know, someone in a cloud is like shooting little water BB bullets at me. That's what it felt like. I'm exhausted and joining in the smoke cup. This is why I love Sundays. We live with the sleepy brain. Dude, have a good one, man. Like really chill out. Maybe play some Elden Ring. I don't know if you're still playing. Like I would really like to know the statistics of how many people are playing Elden Ring, because like it really took the world by storm. Oh goodness. Fortunately, it took the world too much by storm. It attracted the attention of Meat Canyon. Like Meat Canyon and Moist Critical at the same time. You know, I should have known better. But I was naive and stupid. And I paid dearly for my sins. Oh goodness. Thank you, Brother Isaac. It's so nice to have you here, man. The wind doesn't look as crazy nowadays. No, the wind is chill. It's just raining now. Like it's come down. So like it was just like a final gust of wind to really bring those clouds closer. Maybe it was like as the water was falling. Like today was a hot-ish day for the first time in a long time. But it's also been getting colder at night. And then close to getting to the nighttime, we also had a bout of rain. So that probably like did a bunch of heat differentials as a result of that, pressure differentials, resulting in the strong gust of wind. Wouldn't you look at that? It was pretty cool though. It felt very visceral sitting in it. Felt like I was being empowered. Like the energy of wind was not only flowing past me, but through me. Yes. Cause that definitely rained fresh. You're hilarious. Thanks for the new phrase I don't get to use. Yeah, an awning, right? An awning coup. I'm happy that you're also feeling into it, Shell. Big brain, thank you for the heartwarming friend. Sundays are the best. Get blasted, says the rain. I feel like it's unironic, like genuinely, you know, that it is almost that way, Isaac. Where if it starts raining, you know, like, it's okay. I'm like running 5 different forms of trains. So one of them is like when I was a child. and it would start raining, it was the only time I was actually allowed to come inside and like watch TV or like watch a movie or something like that. If it wasn't raining outside, I had to be outside. Like that was my mom's rule, and it made me despise being outside. And I would like pray for rain just to like be able to watch movies inside. So every second, like there would be the first drop would like plof down on the ground, make a little indentation in the sand, and the dust particles created by that haven't even settled, and I'm inside the house starting to rewind the like, what do you call them? VHS tape? Yeah, the tape. Starting to like roll back the tape that I want to watch to make sure I can actually watch it from the start. Like I think I watched El Dorado maybe like 50 times. Man, being a kid, and then now as an adult, now our way to play has so many different nuances, and smoking weed can be one of them. I feel one of the less harmful types, if I have balance, of course, like everything. And then as soon as the rain falls, you're like, oh yes, coziness. I'm going to light up a little bit. Thank you. I hope you have an amazing day, Isaac. A slicker and douche shit is my favorite. Is goose shit is not slick, dude. Like unironically, like I feel if you it's like said that to me maybe like a year ago, I'd be like, okay, I guess that makes sense. Now it actually doesn't, because the goose, they eat grass, and the poop they have is like small little processed grass capsules. That's basically what they look like. Very much not slick. So like I feel like that one should be changed. Maybe what would be slick? Maybe fish poop. Like I feel anything that lives in the water would have the slickest poop. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like I cannot let you hold on to your favorite saying if it doesn't make sense, dude. Has to at least make sense. Introducing the new Super Soaker Sky. Get so AA. Get sucked. There we go. By the clouds, motherfucker. Thank you so much for that, Isaac. I was like, what? So, okay, good. Broke my brain for a bit. My favorite sayings are stream inappropriate. I mean, slicker than goose shit is kind of like pushing the boundaries of it, so you can like really let loose if you want to, even. Really are. We need to not attach to things and negative thoughts. It's easier said than done sometimes. Alright, Shannon. Because like the thing is with negative thoughts, is they become an anchoring point, like a thing that your ego uses to convince you that you actually aren't all that. Right? Something happens in life. Oh yeah, it's because you're such and such, and you're so and so, and you're evil, and you don't deserve love or happiness or financial abundance. Yeah. You're like, what the fuck? What do I do to you, ego? Why are you like this? But if you can just become aware that you're not those thoughts, on a very fundamental level, those thoughts are just like these clouds, passing by right now. Sometimes it's going to be dark and gloomy, and it's going to be gusts of chaos in your mind, and branches going to break and fall on you, and there's going to be rain pouring down, coming down so fast that it hurts. And sometimes it's going to be beautiful, clear, open skies. Sometimes it's going to be beautiful, partially clouded skies, and you get to see amazing shapes. Sometimes thin little, whimsical clouds. with not much substance, and yet, it's such an intrinsic beauty. But you're that potential, that sky, that awareness, the canvas on which the painting goes. And you can keep painting. You can constantly keep painting. Yes! I had a great meditation the other day. Made it all click in the moment, feeling the energy of my head and my back against the cushion. that isn't happening behind like you think, but within the bubble of consciousness. I'm like thinking about the feeling of the cushion and the, a little bit of my lower back touching the back of it as well. It's not underneath me, but within me. Hmm. Oh, thank you for that, Isaac. The interdimensional aliens kick in at 314.154 kilohertz. Dude, I wouldn't even be surprised if that's true. I love to test my self discipline. I do too, friend. And I think it's good if you do that for yourself in that way. You know, not even just because the self discipline is good, but you are treating yourself to novelty. You're treating yourself to neuroplasticity. Your brain, by practicing willpower, practicing discipline, as you're saying, gets better at discipline, gets better at willpower. So no matter what you do, you're practicing for what you will be doing. Also, reminder, tonight at 9 p.m. EST, we are having the weekly Melt Family Hangout in the Discord. Feel free to come and relax. No stress. Hola. Thank you so much for allowing me friends know as well. So, like, we have a Discord server, and you can find it if you go through the profile. Maybe if a friend will share there's going to be a call. Your friends can, if you want to, can just stay in audio as well. Wish we could share pictures on here. Pretty day here too. Maybe one day, Tahoe Dream. I wouldn't be surprised, friend. Where at in the world are you, friend? He is literally in Tahoe. Like, his username is Tahoe Dream, and he manifested that reality for himself. I like your necklace. Did you make it? I did, Nanshi. I did make this necklace. Like, this little piece of crystal obviously was made by Mother Nature herself. But then I bought it from an individual at a festival who like made a little piece, little mushroom, you know, cap piece as well. And then unfortunately the little loop that it was through broke out. And then I just had it like in my bag and then next to the rest of my crystals, never fixing it because it was really hard. And then eventually like I just kind of took to it and like really went with it with a knife and like cut all of that stuff off. And it was difficult. Like it came through like layers. And then I, the next morning, woke up, made like a flat little, you know, piece of clay, the blue main color. At the bottom of it, I made like a little yellow infinity symbol, the, you know, Melkor infinity symbol. And then at the top of it, I sprinkled a bunch of these little, you know, pink little dollops randomly, if you will. And then I like formed it onto itself, made a little indentation for this thing, this little crystal to fit into, fire or oven treated technically for 30 minutes this little piece, and then super glued the crystal to the bottom of it, and then made a little, you know, paracord necklace. And it's adjustable. You can loosen it and tighten it back up. I feel most comfortable with it super tight because I jump around a lot, and you know if it's not super tight, it like knocks against my body. It still happens, but at least when it happens with less velocity. Today's my day, Elden Ring Day. Yes, I love the synchronicity, dude. Right? You know, and I knew you would know what I was talking about. You know, that's why I would say it. I was like, I was seeing the parallel in mind happening, and I was like, dude. Why? Why Meat Canyon? What did we do to deserve this? Oh, tarnished. It's cursed, yo. So cursed. Like, I'm pretty sure I lost some brain cells. I think part of why Elden Ring did so well is because of the state of games. It's so terrible that any game that isn't riddled with bugs and problems at release is seen as such a great game. Oh, what it is. Basically commercialized, AI driven. This is what people are willing to spend the most money on. This is what people like. This is the formula for what games are supposed to be, and then kind of like pushing them to have like better and better graphics because that's the only metric that they can improve when the game is essentially the exact same game, just with a new skin and a new story. And on top of that, the developers that do actually try and work on proper games just get like buried. Nonsense. It's such a weird state of games right now, you know, and I hope it gets better. I'm sure it will. I feel maybe with more, if every single person as an individual has more power and more say in that weighting system, instead of it just being like machine learning, I think it's going to be a pretty big change. And you're completely right with the whole, you know, no bugs and stuff as well. Dude, I was one of the people that made the mistake of ordering Cyberpunk 2077. Not only did I, you know, I'm not even going to go into it. Stay positive. Love is true. Yeah. Well, almost Elden Ring Day. I still have to be a human, but I spent so much time working my ass off this week, so I'm excited. You deserve it. Deserve to like chill out, slay some monsters, grind some bones. It's been incredible to see. I started when I was 11, and Dark Souls was just a cult hard game. They really took the time and crafted this beautiful world. The time and effort paid off. And I think like George R. R. Martin was one of the people that was writing like lines or scripts. I don't know if that's any, like there's any truth to that, but at least that's what I heard. Melty just made Alanis Morissette go off in my head. Isn't it ironic? Isn't it ironic? Isn't it ironic? I don't know what that tune is supposed to be. It's like rain. I don't know. I'm sorry, Panda, but I'm happy to have triggered that within you. Interesting bot. I hope you have a relaxed day off, friend. Thank you so much. Man, bot proved me dumb. I didn't even read it, Isaac. So in my mind, I don't even know what the bot said. So to me, you're just still the wiser that you've always been. V-Slag, thank you for joining us, friend. It's nice to have you here. Sending so much love your way. How are you doing? How are you doing? That made my brain mix that with CCR in the early morning raining on the wedding day. Damn. Sorry. I don't know any of those songs. Good stuff. I'm just shy of 200 hours into Lost Ark and not anywhere near done. Lost Ark. Is it the Ark games? You know, where you're like basically creating a character and then you build it up and you have like dinosaurs and stuff? I'm not sure if it's the same. Bro, you like girls? I mean, I like pretty much everybody. When it comes to my romantic affliction, orientation, I do like girls, yes. Yeah. But I don't know exactly why that's important. I feel I like my own mental sanity more than girls, so I kind of get confronted with that, where it's like, oh, sanity, girls, and I'm like, keeping my sanity. Thank you, bro. How about you, friend? You like girls? Girls? It's okay, whoever you like. Know that at least. Thanks, and good to see you again. Good to see you as well, Steel. Thank you, friend, for joining us. Dude, that's the best feeling. Mark of a good game. Someone made that for you to enjoy, not to make a bunch of money for their company. Exactly. Good shit, my man. That's the way it's supposed to be. Enjoy Sleep says, you said balance. I took Coracidin. I don't know what that is. When I was a small-nosed kid with no deep thoughts, it induced a near-death experience in high school, and it woke my mind, and it was going off a million miles an hour about everything in balance. I don't know what Coracidin is. Coracidin? Like, I'm guessing it's some sort of like drug. I've never heard about that, friend. I'm sorry to hear that you've had a near-death experience, but I'm happy to hear that it completely, you know, transformed your life, awoke your mind. Maybe, you know, it was exactly the way it was supposed to be. Your subconscious led you to making that decision so that you can be your conscious self right now. Good to be here. Good to have you. Hello. Hello, dancing man. Dear Antler, hello to you. There is a lack of dancing in this stream that I. There definitely is a sheer lack of dancing. Like, what is dancing to you though? Right? Can it just be like following rhythm? Can I like danced, dear Antler. The dancing man has done his job. How are you doing? What have you been up to, friend? Have you been learning gear and such? Take my free award, Stoner. Thank you for the silver. I appreciate it. Thank you for the Starstruck as well. I appreciate that so much. V-Slag. Dune, nice to have you. Jackson, so nice. Thank you for joining us as well. We're all just spoiled. Games today are freaking amazing. Some games are freaking amazing. Yes. And maybe we are spoiled as well. But it's just about, what we've seen happen with games and the way that it kind of like progressed. Now things feel a little bit stagnant. And it's like, again, it's like we're playing the same games over and over again. And there's very little room for innovation, and there's little incentive to actually innovate with games as well. That is what we're complaining about, not the games themselves. In the Elden Ring subreddit, there was a period of time during the first 2 years. Has Elden... Whoa. 2 years of absolutely no news called The Great Hollowing, where people clipped together frames and made entire fake lore guessing for it. It was a strange time. I was about to say, well, like, is the game 2 years old? Like, that doesn't sound right. I was like tripping out about some sort of time dilation that happened in my brain or something. But that makes sense. I feel like it's almost again, this a dream we dream together becomes reality situation. But then on the other hand, like a lot of people dreamed about Cyberpunk as well, and we all know how that turned out. I'm using the sound of your rainy influence my blues picking because it will probably be another 9 months or more until the next rain here. I'm sorry to hear that, Panda. Do you enjoy the rain? I'm guessing you do, friend. Where do you live? Is it that dry? Like 9 months of no rain? That's crazy. So George R.R. Martin wrote the overall mythos the first year, then didn't see anything. So, say anything? Didn't see anything. So they took his overall mythos and heroes and wrote what happened after. So a beautiful culmination. So he was basically like the character creator, like basically the set and characters, like the almost like if the story is the story that you tell, the character set and the environment is the thing within which you tell it. And that's basically the formula for any storytelling medium. Literally any storytelling medium. It gets you to fall in love with the characters and the environments, and then they tell you stories with them. That is how it works. And having George R.R. Martin, like he knows how to create captivating characters and captivating environments. So that's very much up his alley. You're completely right with that beautiful culmination. I think if he had to write the story surrounding all of that, the game would be like delayed by 50 years or something. Okay, enough Elden Ring knowledge. Sadly, the largest file on the old brain hard drive. It's nothing sad about it, friend. It is something that you're passionate about and you're enjoying. And that's what's important. That's what's important right now. No Lost Ark is a Korean MMORPG with so many different things to do, free to play as well. Some microtransactions, but nothing that make you a better player. Mostly skins and stuff like that. Just hats. Get yourself some nice hats. Pay X amount of Daras. Then you can get nice hats. I mean, Lost Ark. Is it a PC game or is it a mobile? Like, interestingly enough, I recently learned that the mobile gaming industry is actually severely, like, I think the mobile gaming industry alone has more like revenue coming in through it than both PC and console gaming combined. And like when I read that stat, I was like, excuse me. And then I thought about it for like 5 seconds, and I was like, actually, it does make a lot of sense. I have a programmer friend who's a little bit. What word? I don't want to label him at all. Let's call him ambitious. You know, where he was like, yeah, I'm gonna start writing apps. Very simple, you know, like sprites, games, and then make like some sort of, you know, time-based being able to play the game, and then you can watch ads to get more time, or you can pay for the ability to get more time, and then just get like kids to use their parent credit cards on the game, and then to do that, the revenue I generate, hire more developers, and then generate more such type of games. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, but don't you think that's horrible? And he's like, that's what kids do, or something like that. And I'm like, yeah. You know, knowing what kids do and exploiting it is different than just knowing that kids do things. Oh goodness. Fortunately, those things are getting banned now. You know, these like loot boxes and stuff. Because it's gambling, fundamentally. Are we almost caught up to America to marry me? V-Slag, you know, as soon as I have enough money to do whatever it is I want to, maybe then I can start thinking about marrying people. So, there we go. Go get him, girl. Go. Go and get him. Suddenly, V-Slag is, you know, putting up flyers. Do you know Milkmore? Goes to people and knocks on their doors like, do you want to, you know, see pretty things that this dude Milkmore makes? Gets people to sign up to my Patreon like a rampant, you know, crazy person. Go get him. Slag. I'm joking, my friend. So much love to you. Cortisone HPP is the name of a drug marketed by Stringer Plow that contains dextromorphin and chlorpheniramine. Meliate? Cortisone is used to treat headaches, runny nose, sneezing, watering eyes, and pain or fever caused by allergies, the common cold or the flu. Cortisone may also be used for other purposes not listed in the medical guide. Okay. Like a flu medication that you can take too much of, I guess. And I guess you did. I took it over 22 years ago when the internet didn't explain anything, Lamal. But I don't regret it. Took LSD the same year. I mean, you were exploring with your own consciousness, friend. Like, where are these ultimate labs? Like, what the biggest thing is, you know, like, we all have these labs, right? And then, depending on what food you put into it, depending on how you exercise it, depending on how you breathe with it, depending on what you drink, depending on, you know, like, what you do in your day-to-day life, those are experiments you're playing on this being, and then putting stuff in your body like chemicals, you know, like marijuana or mushrooms or whatever it is you choose. It's not about the substance. Realizing that it's just you experiencing, but then educating yourself, knowing what it is you're putting into your own body, and then making an educated decision in a way where you know where the risks lie, you know where the balance is supposed to be struck. And it's difficult. It is difficult. Maybe one of the most difficult things ever. Like, we as human beings have a very hard time with self-control sometimes. Tech Tight for the love! Thank you for joining us. Hello to you. How have you been, friends? It's been a while. Mobile game economics are extremely toxic. Oh yes, Savina. Crazy high prices and game-breaking purchases, but people spend thousands on some games even when servers reset every so often. It breaks my brain. I really do not understand how someone can do that.
You know, and I played Clash of Clans for a little bit, and I think maybe I spent $80 on gems. And then I noticed, I realized, there's this thing inside of me that was like, no, what is this thing you're doing right now is an extremely bad idea. And I completely stopped playing the game altogether. And then you can see, like, if you want to go and Google, people spending 10,000 US dollars on leveling up their, entire base, to the max. 10,000 US dollars on a mobile game. Like, think about that. What other game has people that invested? I don't think there is any other game. Maybe Magic? I can see people in Magic maybe spending like upwards of 10k on cards as well. All within infinity. And this too, right? And this too. We just have to stay aware. That's the real thing. Nice Avina, just kidding. Merlin. Pretty interesting. I'm sure it was crazy. I'm glad to have been sparked to Google and learn. How was the LSD trip? I haven't dabbled myself. Only much with you. But feel free to say nothing as well. Stopped it for a sec. Merlin PC game. I used to game on mobile, but that just isn't the same. Oh, no. Of course not. Although companies are putting some serious work into gaming phones, Lenovo and Asus have both phones with crazy specs. I think either 144Hz and 240Hz screens. They do, but like I also have a 155Hz monitor, like 1440p 155Hz monitor. It is quite an experience. Like when you go over to like PC gaming, it's very difficult to go to any other platform. And even though that's been said, I haven't played games like properly in months again. I started playing Control for a little bit, but the last time I touched Control was in December. Was it December? No. It was in January. So hopefully I'll get time in the future. Maybe, the way we'll be playing games will be different by then, but I look forward to it nonetheless. It's not a war on drugs, it's a war on personal freedom. Keep that in mind at all times. Here is Tom with the weather, Bill Hicks. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And the drugs are winning the war on drugs as well. That's the irony. And all you're doing by prosecuting and demonizing drugs, instead of educating people, is creating the dark or the black market that is encouraging violence because it's monopolized and people who have certain sectors of selling profit more or less because of that, so it incentivizes violence. And then thirdly, it also leaves open a gap for people to get inferior products. So not only are they not getting what they're supposed to be getting, but they could be getting some sort of other product that could be more harmful to them than the actual drug cut into the rest of their product. So, like, if we had a proper system, a proper society, all of these things would be decriminalized, and you'll be able to go and buy them from pharmacies. And the thing is, if you could buy them from pharmacies, there could still be an opportunity for a black market. But if you're doing it at a pharmacy, you can basically allow people to only get that much, right? Like you can basically give them, for instance, a gram of whatever it is you want to give them, and then that gets logged. And you're like, okay, have a good time. Treat yourself to a good experience. Respect it, Don't look at the instructions that you've been given. Make sure you have your proper scales and your proper measuring equipment, or even have it dosed out, pre-packaged into the whole package, and then you can just kind of like open a small little thing and then get your, prescribed dose. And then it has like a logging system where it knows if you go into a certain use pattern, that means you're getting to a point of addiction. And then you can have help. You can have someone reach out to you. You can have someone like actually sit with you and like look at your usage patterns and then adjust, change things. Like there is so many, and not only would it be the better way to do things, but it would save our countries billions of dollars, like billions upon billions in medical, in military, or like policing and prosecution and prison fees, in the human suffering of people getting completely pulled into these worlds and then not having help, being too afraid to seek help. Like, the current system just generates more suffering. And something has to change. It really is a war on personal freedom. I wish I could have gotten some of that Candy Crush money. Yes. Like, Candy Crush is probably like in the hundreds of billions of dollars that it is like taken from people as well. Candy Crush is nothing compared to the castle build games these days. Oh yeah, there's castle build, like Clash of Clans. It's crazy. I still remember my dad's BlackBerry Brick Breaker being the tits. Like, I had a BlackBerry Curve, and not only did I get that BlackBerry Curve with my first cell phone, so it had like this full, physical QWERTY keyboard, but it had an internet service called BIS, BlackBerry Internet Service, that was $10 a month for the cell phone, 100 minutes of call time, and then this internet service that gave you basically unlimited internet that you can use to Google. It was like pretty slow. You could like have like, I think maybe GSM, so at most 400 bytes per second, so like half a meg, which is not a lot, but it was enough to like load 9GAG, for example. That is where I found 9GAG as a kid as well. as a grade 8, scrolling 9GAG during my high school breaks. What a ridiculous time to be alive. Anyway, I love that cell phone. And then the second cell phone I got was, I think, like a Note 2 that I bought secondhand. And from there it's been touchscreens. Like, we grew up in such a weird time to see technology completely transform in front of our eyes. Having wanted pieces of technology as a kid, like as a 7-year-old, trying to convince my parents to give me like a Nokia cell phone that had like Snake on it, because I was like, this is so sick. And they were like, no, you don't need a cell phone. You live with us. We take you to school and we take you home. And I was like, what if need to call you after school? And they're like, you don't need to call us after school. Pippi is like chewing on a stick. There's like a bunch of bits she's now collected. Pippi's freaking long stockings. Like, we actually call sticks stockies for guns as well. The character / squad games, like SW Galaxy of the Heroes. Like it's basically these turn-based games, and you can like let it autoplay itself as well. You can spend like $500 to unlock one character early just to complete. That doesn't even cover the gear, etc. on top of that. My dad used to play that game. I don't know if he spent any money on it, but I know he used to play that game. Nokia Snake 2, it was lit. Oh, my first smartphone, Angry Birds. Was this shit though? Oh yes, it was. Oh, it really was. Like, I think one of the games that I really enjoyed was this little block moving game. You had to move the blocks, and then by moving the blocks you would be able to get the red block out of the little square the blocks were in. And I got to like level 1000 something because I really enjoyed the puzzles. And I would sit in like the registerperiode, we would call it. It's like the first like 60 minutes or like I think 45 minutes of school. We like kind of like give our attendance and get questions asked, and we have like a time to chill, and then we have class. But during that time, me and my friends would just like play puzzle games, and then people would come kind of behind you, see how fast you can solve puzzles. They would want to solve puzzles as well. It was kind of trippy. Instead of playing Angry Birds, we played puzzle games. Random, but I have a feeling I'll be gone soon, so I must say I really like the facial hair on you, Mel. Thank you. I'll take that with a little bit of salt on B. A part of me doesn't want to believe you. Especially since, I've seen Uncle Becky's literal, waterfall beard at this moment. And not only do I know that I cannot grow a beard like that, but I won't even try. So I'm probably gonna be shaving at some point soon. But thank you so much nonetheless, Auntie. I appreciate the love more than I can say. Do we remember the insanity and death threats of Flappy Bird? I vaguely remember. I didn't really get too sucked into that world. I didn't play Flappy Bird myself. Did you send him some Uncle Becky Miracle Beard tonic? I need some of that shit soon. I'm happy that you know as well, Pegtide. Them war on drugs continues with the years melt. The drugs are winning. The drugs aren't just winning; they've won. The drugs won. It's done. Like, and not only have we seen it, like, I mean, just look at the legalizing process with marijuana. It's happening with psychedelics as well now. Look at the state of Canada with their policies on drugs. Amsterdam, like the drugs are like winning, and not only is it going to be a good thing if they kind of like finally give up, but it's going to reduce human suffering. I'm back at the fish in the barrel guy, but yeah, I feel like a fish in a barrel. Is that bad? It's not bad unless you believe it is, new page. What makes it bad? Is it the feeling of being stuck? You're not puppy puppy. That glass can cut you. You're not stuck, friend. You are literally all of it. You are part and parcel. You're here for a reason, right? Like that fish got caught and then was put in the barrel. But the fish was exactly where it was supposed to be, eating the exact little worm of the exact hook that was going to pull someone, be pulled in by someone. Like, there's so many reasons for you to be here right now. Figure out what you can do in this barrel. Because this barrel is pretty cool, dude. There's a lot in this barrel. Come, puppy. Come, miso. Come, miso. I'm sorry. Come, miso. I'm sorry. She would save us billions. Hence, why it is the way it is. No, Corey. Corey is using his brain, and me, I'm just using my right brain. Optimistic. Oh, love, light, and beauty. And Corey is like, hey, dude. Oh, that is exactly why it is that way, don't you know? Thank you, Brother Bear. You're completely right. It's crazy to me that marijuana is legal in my state, but then there are others jailed for years, other places over a gram. Not only that, but there are like thousands of people in jail right now for selling marijuana, and there are thousands of individuals making bank, doing the exact same thing, but now doing it legally. And that contrast is so staggering as well. Mel, the description you made is how asthma medicine is actually dispensed, metered, monitored, and treatment charged per usage patterns, at least at Kaiser Permanente. I know that actually, right? So like your little that each is an exactly measured dose, like almost perfect. So we already have the technology to do that. And if we can just kind of like figure out how to destigmatize all of these things, things would be a lot better for a lot of people. Isn't that the frustration of talking about things like that? Always leads just to point back to some people making more currency. It's like an insanity bringing loop. Yeah. And it's not sustainable. And we're going to see it melt away within, the next decade or two. The part missing was Coricidin is over-the-counter flu cold medication for people with heart problems. So what I was explained was it slows the heart to the point if you fall asleep you die. The recipe is not the same, so you don't try it now. Oh goodness, no, okay friend. I don't need anything. LSD was awesome. I tripped alone and all my posters came alive and was smearing like 3D art on a mirror. That sounds pretty sick, dude. I mean, your usage may vary. Whoever just heard that, like every single person's gonna have a different experience, but it sounds like you had a good one at least. I started gaming on the computer recently. Solitaire, Snake, or Brick Breaker. Oh, and Pac-Man. We have a PC gamer among us. Thank you for joining us, Osby. Oh, I love you. Don't forget pinball, of course not. I definitely spent at least over 850 bucks on CSGO, and I used to be very competitive. Oh shit! I didn't even mention how much money I spent on Dota. Mm. I'm dead. Man, getting wrecked. Fortunately, I can sell the items I have right now. Pippi gets into the cracks of this couch, and then she licks the bottom of the crevice. Uh-uh. Stop licking the freaking couch crevices. The couch butt crack. It's very rude. Very, very rude. The couch doesn't like us when you do that. It plots to murder us in our sleeps. Yes, you can't do stuff like that, yo. You cannot. You cannot. Whoa, 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 whoa! Are you okay? She's fine. I definitely spent over 800 bucks on the competitive. Was insane. Too much of my savings gone to gambling and trading skins. At the same time, it made me deal with loss of money at a young age, and that was its own lesson. There you go again. You know, being able to see the other side of the infinity. Like, yes, I made these mistakes and I did these things, but also now I get to reflect and be more mature because of it. So thank you for that as well, Isaac. Oh, I see. Thank you for the clarification. Thank you. Check out. Speaking of spending money on odd stuff, Pogs. I had probably 300 bucks on cardboard back in the day. I had probably 300 bucks of cardboard back in the day. Cardboard? I'm talking about playing cards, right? Yeah, it happens to us, dude. But I feel like there's a point of saturation, you know, and if you stay aware enough, like you reach it and you're like, oh, I can see myself falling into a pattern here that I do not want to continue. And it's like you have to show yourself something within inside of yourself to really be able to transcend it. Otherwise, you know, it might catch you later in life and even harder. Wow, it was a great time, dude. Reminds me of a hard mushroom trip I had alone. I find the things we love or are a part of our emotional environment get the most intense insights. It's literally the mental energy you've put into it as well, I believe, Isaac. I'd hate to see how much I have spent on games, so I paid full price for games, thankfully, for sight as well CD keys. Dude, I don't think we're trying to demonize or, you know, say it should be this way or another. Papi, I just think we're trying to stay aware that you can do both, and you're the one choosing. So try, try to choose wisely. You know, not saying that you aren't choosing wisely, but just bringing this subject into our attention, being like, huh? Look at this, and not being like, this is what you're supposed to do. Just like, oh, look at this. How about that? Love y'all, love you, Tahoe. Thank you for joining us, friend. Have a beautiful one as well. I remember my brother's Pog play of the game? Pogs? I'm guessing that that's the cards collection. I can't catch up when poggers became a thing on the internet. I only heard about poggers on the internet, but never actually the pogs cards. It's insane. So nice to have you here, my man. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing, Brother Bear? I've been thinking about you. How's life been treating you on your side? It's been hoying water outside today, so we came inside. Like you should see the start of this video. Just the amount of chaos that my hair was going through. And drugs may be winning, but personal freedom and individual and individual responsibilities are losing. I feel one will bleed into the other. Let me just say that, Panda. The legalization of cannabis is also happening over here in Sweden. Ooh, ooh. Happy for you, Swami. Sami. Thank you for sharing that, friend. Definitely an all the time favorite. Professor Goo took us to a retro arcade place and we had the best time. That sounds so freaking cool. Thank you for sharing that imagery. Job hunting, fasting, yes! And absorbing as much info as possible, but I should relax after I edit the video. It's insane. I am proud of you, brother Bear. You're pushing, man. I'm happy that you're fasting. That brings so much joy to my heart. Absorbing, you're saying, as much info as possible. I hope in moderation. I hope you allow yourself some, shutting down of that as well. Day four, doing better than I expected. Day four is, where it gets easier, actually. Tomorrow might even be easier. Like, and how long do you plan on going for? Apparently, I'll just give you the information that I've heard. A week is where you get like the most benefits out of. Like if you can go a whole week, most of the benefits you'll receive there, and you can go for longer, but then the benefits are kind of less like diminishing returns basically. So you're gonna do good, dude. You're already doing good. Well done, man. I'm so proud of you, brother Bear. How does it feel? How does your mind feel? More visual. I had 2 mushroom trips, gave me a good time, but the second gave me an anxiety attack. Yeah, certain setting can make a huge difference, friend. Where you are in your mind and where you are in physicality as well. I used to go to a laundromat as a kid. They had a Robotron and a Pac-Man Galactica machine. Love those days, man. Like so to the point where you like want to go to the laundromat. Like you, hearing that you're going to the laundromat makes you excited. Because I never had any of the hunger pans, the ones which would wake me up from sleep, I never even got, so I figured I'd go for a week. Feel free, dude. Like, technically, our bodies are very much, equipped with the ability to be hungry or to be in a fasted state. The reason we have those hunger pangs is because we get so ingrained in this insulin, refeed system where it's like, okay, I've eaten something, my body releases insulin. That insulin opens my cells up, those cells absorb energy. There's still excess insulin in the blood, GABA. Is it GABA? No. Ghrelin. There we go. Ghrelin gets released, tells your body, hey, oh, you're hungry right now. You need to eat food, otherwise we're gonna die. Hunger pangs, you just kick in, you eat again, insulin gets released, cells open up, food gets absorbed. So by fasting, you're basically putting your body in a low insulin state of existence. And when you're low insulin, your body has the ability to utilize fat as a fuel source. And then by fasting, you're basically putting your body in that state. Something that's very beneficial for you if you do it in moderation. I don't even think it's food I'm craving. I think it's just the flavor on my tongue and my body wants. I mean, if you want flavor, a good thing to drink while you're fasting is bone broth. At least that's what I do if I want some flavor in my mouth. Without any calories, that is. They had at least 15 to 20 pinball machines, all different kinds, and I was in shock. Oh, and they're beautiful as well, like they're works of art basically. My first mushroom experience was the worst I've ever felt, period. But the second half, after smoking a joint to relax, was so beautiful. I'm interested in the visuals, but I think that might be more than I could currently handle. That's completely okay as well, Isaac. In time. Is it not cheating if I drink broth? If it's a proper broth that is basically just water with salt and the bones, no like sediment or no solids or no like fat layers, then it's like 100%. But if it's water with I think it's basically like collagen in it, then you're kind of like cool. You can even like drink those little blocks, bone broth blocks of like flavoring that they make as well. That also works. Also, it allows you to get some salt in, which is also good for fasting. I've heard one. It's cool, I see. Hopefully there was a global cannabis trade sooner. Oh, it would be so cool. I just lick some salt at night and I'm good. Lick some salt. I was just imagining, it's insane starting fasting, buys himself like a block of salt. Not eating, just walks like past it. Licks his salt block, goes to bed, dude. You're cracking me up, man. I keep my N64 plugged up in the loft just in case I need a nostalgia blast. The cartridges still have some old random stickers from me and my brothers when we were young. Dude, that sounds beautiful. Like a little fractal, you get it to look into as well, actually. It's a little frog jumping. I don't know, man. There are some really great games, and the social aspect of gaming is amazing, both on the toxic side but also on the supportive community side, it really is that way. You know, it's a balance, and again, it's what you're looking for as well. You can find both. EVE Online used to have the best system, in my opinion, before they started to break it. Yeah, you could buy game time and make it into an actual game item and sell it for in-game currency. So those who could play the game a lot but not afford the subscription could buy the game time, and in return, those richer players who couldn't play as much could get more in-game currency. Very cool. That's very, very cool, like, system, actually. I didn't know it worked that way. Wow, Pog's Wayback Machine. Little circles of cardboard. Oh, kind of like cards. So I didn't ever have the Pogs, but I had those Taz tokens. You know, the Dragon Ball Z characters on them. I don't know if that was a thing in America, but like we got them in our Simba chips packets. Dude, I think they sold Simba chips. Like, oh, the amount of damage that did to our humanity. But we bought Simba chips like it was, you know, going out of stock. By the game time. Okay, what did one? EVE Online is insane. The guilds in that game do not fuck with serious people. I might be broke, but my factory new AK-47 skin can keep me warm at night. That's so freaking cool. Oh, you know, Isaac. Have you ever petted a lion? Yes, I have actually. Who needs to pet a lion when you have a mane like Melty? Thank you, Sabina. Like, lions is not something that is completely inaccessible here in South Africa. I mean, it was a lion cub that I petted, but it was a lion nonetheless. I remember reading about how one guild infiltrated another, rose to the top ranks, and destroyed 16,000 worth in real currency. Assassinated the guild leader, crashed the highest level ships into suns. Oh my goodness, people are insane. I mean, you know, that sounds like Warfare 101. And if anything, I would rather have people wage war against one another in a game than in person, and like kind of like satisfy that primal need to defeat your enemy in a game sense or a game world. He is the lion. Thank you, Isaac. What a glimpse into the future right now. Really, bugs and the little discs from the 90s. Oh, sneaky, shameless self-promotion incoming. There we go, Panda. We'll leave it on that. Go and check Panda's thing out. Like, I hope it's not, not safe for workplace. If it is, blame Panda. It's not my fault. Aside from the crashing into the sun thing, sounds about right. I really like the crashing in the sun thing part. Thank you, friends, for joining me here today, for sharing this moment of nothing, but everything. I appreciate you so much. I love you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye. Goodbye.